Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're diving headfirst into a topic that's both fascinating and a little bit scary. The future of Europe. Specifically, we're going to be looking at 10 European countries that by 2025 could be facing some serious challenges. We're talking potential economic meltdowns, social unrest, the whole nine yards. Now, I'm not about fear-mongering, all right? I'm all about giving you the information you need to make informed decisions. And right now, the economic indicators for these 10 countries are flashing red. We're talking about massive debt, skyrocketing inflation, and unemployment rates that would make your eyes water. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell because things are about to get very interesting. We're going on a wild ride through the potential collapse of 10 European nations. Let's do this. Let's kick things off with Greece, a country that knows a thing or two about economic hardship. Remember the Greek debt crisis back in 2010? Yeah, well, things haven't exactly been smooth sailing since then. Greece is still grappling with a massive debt-to-GDP ratio, a sluggish economy, and high unemployment, especially among young people. Think about it. When you've got a generation that can't find jobs, can't afford to buy homes, and are struggling to make ends meet, that creates a breeding ground for social unrest. And we've already seen glimpses of that in Greece over the past decade. Now, I'm not saying Greece is doomed. They've made some progress in terms of reforms and fiscal responsibility. But the reality is they're walking a tightrope, and any little wobble could send them tumbling. And here's the kicker. Greece's problems aren't unique. They're like the canary in the coal mine for a lot of other European countries. Next up, we've got Italy, a country known for its beautiful art, delicious food, and a mountain of debt. Seriously, Italy's debt-to-GDP ratio is one of the highest in the world. It's like they took the phrase "live for today" a little too literally. But here's the thing, Italy is also a founding member of the Eurozone. So if their economy goes belly up, it could trigger a domino effect that could take down the entire euro. And that, my friends, is a very scary thought. So what's causing Italy's economic woes? Well, for starters, they've got a stagnant economy with low growth and productivity. They've also got a rigid labour market, which makes it difficult for businesses to hire and fire workers, which stifles innovation and growth. On top of that, Italy has a notoriously inefficient bureaucracy and a history of political instability. They've had like 60 governments since World War II. It's tough to implement long-term economic reforms when the government keeps changing. Let's move on to Spain, a country that's no stranger to economic booms and busts. After experiencing a massive housing bubble in the early 2000s, Spain was hit hard by the 2008 financial crisis. They've recovered somewhat since then, but they're still facing some serious challenges. One of the biggest issues facing Spain is high unemployment, especially among young people. Imagine being a recent graduate with a college degree and still not being able to find a job. That's the reality for many young Spaniards. Another challenge is the growing gap between the rich and the poor. Spain has one of the highest levels of income inequality in Europe, which can lead to social unrest and instability. And let's not forget about the Catalan independence movement, which has been a thorn in the side of the Spanish government for years. The political uncertainty surrounding Catalonia doesn't exactly inspire confidence in the Spanish economy. Chapter 4, Portugal. Can they escape the shadow of austerity? Our next stop is Portugal, a country that's been through the ringer of austerity measures. After needing a bailout from the European Union in 2011, Portugal was forced to implement harsh spending cuts and tax hikes. While these measures helped to stabilize the Portuguese economy in the short term, they also had some pretty nasty side effects like increased poverty and social unrest. The big question now is whether Portugal can escape the shadow of austerity and achieve sustainable economic growth. They've made some progress in recent years with their economy growing at a decent clip, but they're still facing some headwinds like high levels of public and private debt, low productivity, and an aging population. Chapter 5, France. The price of liberté, égalité, fraternité. France, the land of romance, fine dining, and high taxes. France has a long history of generous social welfare programs which are designed to provide a safety net for its citizens, but these programs come at a cost. France has one of the highest tax burdens in the developed world, which can discourage investment and entrepreneurship. On top of that, France has a notoriously rigid labor market, which makes it difficult for businesses to hire and fire workers. This can stifle innovation and make it tough for the French economy to compete on a global scale. While France isn't facing the same level of economic crisis as some of the other countries on this list, they're certainly not immune to the challenges facing Europe. Chapter 6, thus Germany. Can the economic engine of Europe keep chugging along? Next up, we've got Germany, the economic powerhouse of Europe. Germany has long been seen as the responsible adult in the room when it comes to the European Union. They've got a strong manufacturing sector, a highly skilled workforce, and a reputation for fiscal discipline, but even Germany isn't invincible. One of the biggest challenges facing Germany is its aging population. As more and more Germans retire, there are fewer and fewer working-age people to support them. This puts a strain on the social safety net and can lead to slower economic growth. Germany is also heavily reliant on exports, which makes them vulnerable to global economic downturns. If demand for German cars and machinery dries up, the German economy could take a big hit. Chapter 7. Now, let's talk about the United Kingdom, a country that's no stranger to making headlines. After voting to leave the European Union in 2016, the UK has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride. The British economy has held up relatively well since the Brexit vote, but there are still a lot of uncertainties about the long-term impact of leaving the EU. One of the biggest concerns is the potential for trade disruptions between the UK and the EU. If businesses face tariffs and other barriers to trade, it could lead to higher prices for consumers and slower economic growth. The UK is also facing a number of other challenges, including high levels of household debt, regional inequality, and an aging population. Chapter 8. Belgium, a country divided. Let's move on to Belgium, a small country with a big reputation for, well, waffles and chocolate. But beneath the surface of this seemingly peaceful nation lies a deep linguistic and cultural divide. Belgium is divided into two main regions, Flanders in the north, where they speak Dutch, and Wallonia in the south, where they speak French. And let's just say these two regions don't always see eye to eye. This linguistic and cultural divide has also manifested itself in the Belgian economy. Flanders is generally more prosperous than Wallonia, which has led to resentment and calls for greater autonomy from some Flemish politicians. While Belgium hasn't experienced the same level of economic turmoil as some of the other countries on this list, the potential for political instability and regional tensions remains a concern. Chapter 9. Netherlands, the Low Countries, high stakes. Next up we have the Netherlands, a country known for its tulips, windmills, and a surprisingly robust economy. The Netherlands has weathered the various European crises relatively well, thanks in part to their strong financial sector and their open, trade-dependent economy. However, the Netherlands is not without its challenges. They're facing a housing affordability crisis, rising inequality, and growing concerns about the impact of climate change. The Netherlands is also a member of the Eurozone, which means they're exposed to the economic woes of their neighbours. If Italy or Spain were to experience a full-blown economic meltdown, it would definitely have a ripple effect on the Dutch economy. Chapter 10. Austria. Can this Alpine nation weather the storm? Last but not least, we have Austria, a country known for its stunning mountain scenery, its rich musical heritage, and its stable economy. Austria has a long history of sound fiscal management and a highly skilled workforce. However, Austria is not immune to the challenges facing Europe. They're facing an aging population, rising healthcare costs, and growing competition from emerging markets. Austria is also highly integrated with the German economy, which means they're exposed to any economic turbulence that Germany might experience. If the German economy were to sputter, Austria would definitely feel the pain. So, there you have it, folks. 10 European countries that are facing some serious challenges in the years to come. The big question is, what can be done to address these challenges and prevent a full-blown economic and social crisis in Europe? Outro, the future of Europe, challenges and opportunities. So there you have it, a glimpse into the potential futures of these 10 European countries. It's a complex and ever-changing landscape, but one thing's for sure. The decisions made in the next few years will have a profound impact on the lives of millions of people. Remember, knowledge is power. The more informed you are about the challenges and opportunities facing Europe, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the uncertain waters ahead. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video insightful, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay curious.